Hey everybody, my name is Astrid. I am a professional college counselor and welcome to College to the People, the channel on YouTube dedicated to helping get you where you want to go, no matter what your educational goals are. I am here to help support you, give you advice, motivate you, push you, make you think of some things that maybe you haven't thought before in order for you, no matter of what age, race, or space you take up, can achieve your educational dreams. Now, I want to be very clear. This channel is not just dedicated to students who want to go to college and get a traditional bachelor's or master's or PhD or JD or whatever the case may be. This is for any student who is wanting to improve their life through education, whether it is going through a internship program to go to a trade school, beauty school, a traditional 4-year college or university, or even a 2-year community college system, the way that I did. So today's topic is how to choose a major, okay? Or how to choose what you're gonna study in college. We get this question as college counselors all the time because there's a million options out there of what you can study and do, especially today. And it's sometimes hard to narrow down what it is that you are actually truly passionate about, what it is that you want to achieve. Now, let me begin by saying that we are all human beings, and sometimes what we think we might want to do and what we think we might want to study ends up changing either while we're in school or after we graduate or after we land that first job, or you're already in a career and then you realize maybe you're not actually as passionate about what it is that you thought you were, and that's okay. Things can change. We have to be flexible. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to also help you figure this out in the right time frame so that hopefully you prevent potentially making a mistake later on down the line. Let's get right into it. Enough with the small talk. How to choose a major. Let's go. One, the first thing that I want you to think about is what drives you as a person, what motivates you to get up and put your pants on in the morning, one leg at a time, just like the rest of us, okay? Be honest with yourself. Does money motivate you? Does helping others motivate you? Does researching something motivate you? Does building or creating something motivate you? What is it that pushes you, drives you, gets you excited, gets you motivated to do whatever it is that you want to do? This is important because there's going to be times in our lives where we don't want to go to class, we don't want to go to work, we might have an annoying coworker that we don't want to be next to, or a teacher that we despise, and we are still going to have to go to school or go to work to learn, study, and make that money. Honey, okay? So finding out and individualizing what it is that motivates you as a person is good, because in those difficult times and in those stressful times, you can pull that out and remember and remind yourself why it is that you're doing what you're doing. So identify what motivates you as an individual, because that will absolutely come into play as far as choosing your major. For example, if you know that money motivates you and drives you, you're going to want to look into majors that feed into high paying careers that pay a lot, that have good benefits, that have whatever it is that you consider to be a good, allow you to live a very luxurious lifestyle. If you are motivated by helping others, teaching others, serving others, then you should also look for majors that feed into careers or jobs where you're doing exactly that. Education, social work, nursing, anything in the healthcare, or even the law field. Okay, there's a million different things that you can choose, that you can do, that will help you serve a certain community or population or just people in general. Maybe it's not people, maybe you want to help and serve animals. So identify also if you are interested in helping serve or teach or be of service to a certain group or population, what population that might be. Okay. 2, the thing I want you to consider is also this: what kind of lifestyle do you want to have in the future? This is something that I feel like I did not really think about when I was younger, but the lifestyle that you want to have in the future is something that you should definitely start to consider now. For example, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about before, do you want to have the big house, the cars, the vacations, the luxury, the money? And if that's what you want, then you're going to have to find something that aligns and pays well and will help give you opportunities in order to do that, right? If you're instead looking for a lifestyle you want a comfortable lifestyle, you want to be able to pay your bills on time, go on vacation once a year, and live comfortably as long as you're happy, that's a totally different set of opportunities that you can be looking into, right? Lifestyle should not only just be thought of in terms of money, though. I want you to also think of lifestyle as, do you want to work from home? Do you mind commuting? Do you mind working in person? Do you mind being on call after hours if that's the case? Yes or no? Because I'll tell you right now, anyone going into the medical profession, you might have to be on call, right? Versus someone who instead is in a more traditional 9 to 5 jobs, you might not have to be ever. Okay. So there's a lot of things to consider in lifestyle. And you should definitely identify the type of person that you are and the kind of lifestyle that you like now and that you would like to have in the future one day. Do you want to be hands-on? Do you want to be more behind the scenes? Which takes us to number 3, folks. How hands-on do you want to be? This is another really important question that comes into play and is super important in helping you choose the career and the field that you want to go into. If you're the type of person that knows that you want to help build or create or design and actually put something together with your hands and using your physical body, then you should be looking at a completely different set of majors than someone who's like, I'm good on that. I want to be at a computer. I want to be behind a desk. I want to use more maybe of my brain power rather than my physical power. Not that you don't use your brain in physical work, but those are two very big distinctions, because one, more of the physical work might lead you to going and considering trade schools, which will lead you into a union, for example, to become an electrician or a plumber or a pipe fitter, whatever that may be. You can also, if you want to be more physical, look into something like cosmetology or beauty school, where you're standing up all day and actually making results with your hands. So whether you want to be a hairdresser, a barber, a nail tech, something like that, you're still being very physical. Other careers that you might want to consider that you might not think of is, I keep mentioning healthcare, but for example, if you want to go into nursing or phlebotomy or go into surgery or something like that, those are also very physically demanding jobs. You're transferring patients, you're picking up patients, you're moving patients, you're giving shots, you're working with your hands and your eyes to do a lot of things. So those are other examples of things that you might not think are physical, but that are. Okay. And if you know that you're the type of person that doesn't want to be as physical and you want to be more, what should I call it? Behind a desk or working on a computer or offering a service that you're not actually physically creating, then you should look into those types of professions as well. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Yes. Let's carry on. 4, the other thing that I would want you to consider is this, and this is usually a pretty easy question for people to answer, and most students, no matter the age or situation, will have an answer pretty quickly, and that is, what is the one thing or things, plural, that you are not willing to do no matter how much somebody pays you? All right. If I were to sit here right now and be like, listen, I would pay you $5 million a year if you did this thing, and you still said no and you still wouldn't want to do it, realistically, then take note of those things and cross those out for the most part. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. I have never been able to handle like blood, guts, needles, surgery, talking about medical things. Going to the doctor makes me nervous. I don't like that environment. I know that I wouldn't be interested in it, and physically I can't handle it. So for me, being in the healthcare industry in any type of extent was something that I pretty much X'd out very early on when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to study. So there's always certain things that people have that they just would not be willing to do. And that is something that is important in helping you also narrow down things that you just wouldn't want to do as a person, whether because you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, you might not be good at it, or it's just not something that you're willing to do, period. And you don't need to explain yourself, just be honest, all right? 5, the next thing I want you to think about is realistically, how much time do you want to be in school? How much time can you be in school? Okay. There are some of you out there who are just graduated high school. You're in the financial situation, whether you're getting financial aid or you yourself have enough finances, good for you if that's the case, to go to school, and you're willing to put in 4, 5, 6, 7, however many years in school, and you know that is realistically an option for you, that might want to consider a traditional bachelor's degree and potentially even going to grad school or getting a PhD or getting a law degree, whatever it is that you're interested in doing. But for some of you, you might have kids, you might have other responsibilities, you might be working full-time and need to support yourself or your family, and you might need to be a little bit more realistic about how much time it is that you are actually willing and able to be in school for. So if you're the type that's like, listen, I need to be in and out of school in a year or a year and a half, 2 years at the most, whatever the case is, then you should look at programs that are within that time frame, okay? And be realistic, because at the end of the day, this is your life, these are your options, and your journey and your goals is just as important and valid as the next person's, okay? Remember that. The last thing I want to say, and this is more of advice, just general advice to you, is the tip of the day is this. Is this to work backwards, folks. I'm talking working your way back. This is the age of information. You have never had as much access to information right now as you have ever before, okay? So I want you to work backwards when you're starting to figure out what it is that you want to study. Research, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, connect with people, network, ask questions, read articles, read blogs, look at vlogs. Try to research as much as you can into potential professions or careers or majors that you are interested in entering, because there is so much information out there for free at the, what do they say, tip of your fingers, that you could literally, is that what they say? At the tip of your fingers? I'm sorry, I'm ESL, y'all, and sometimes it kicks in like now. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have such easy access to information that you could get at any moment, that I want you to take advantage of that. The number one thing that I wish someone would have told me is, if you are interested in going into teaching or becoming a real estate agent or owning a daycare or being an accountant, whatever it is that you want to do, go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed, Google current job openings for for those professions to see how much they're paying, what degrees they require you to have, what's in the job description, what do they expect you to do, so that you can then work backwards and know what degrees and certificates and skills that you need in order to be able to apply and kill it at those jobs. Okay, that is an amazing way to find out what it is that you're going to have to do and be prepared to know in order for you to then work backwards and work into that job or career. Okay, so now we're at the section of, you figured out what you want to major in, you figured out your course that you want to take in school. Your major is your main program of study. So once you have that figured out, what do you do next? Question mark. The next thing that you want to do once you figure it out and you're in school is to go talk to your academic advisor. You need to tell the school what major it is that you chose. Some of you already entered college or entered a program or entered school, already declared, right? Which means you already told them what it is that you want to study. And if you did, then great, leave that. Or if you change your mind, update them. But if you went in as undeclared, or you started at your local community college and you weren't sure what you wanted to study, once you figured it out, go meet with an academic advisor to tell them, because just knowing it in your head doesn't help. You need to go and tell an academic advisor so that they can give you a sequence chart or a course guide or a program sheet, whatever. Schools call it different things, but it's essentially a list of classes that you're going to need to take in order to complete all of the requirements of that major, okay, or of that degree that you're choosing to do. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is double majoring and majoring in minor. If, let's say, you are super passionate about two different majors, or you can't choose between two, or you want both of the skill sets and both of the information and knowledge of two different majors, then there is such a thing as double majoring. Now, remember to check in with your advisor, because some schools don't do double majors and some schools don't have minors, so definitely find out before. But if they do, that is an option that you can choose. If you want a double major, then just know you're going to have to take a complete set of classes in major number 1 and a complete set of classes in major number 2. Sometimes those classes overlap. You're not going to have to take them twice, but that's why, again, meeting with your advisor, I'm going to say it 100 times in this video before it's over, is so important, because they will tell you exactly what you need to take from both programs, okay? If you do go with that option, you have to be aware that it might take you a little bit longer to finish that program than somebody else, because you're not just taking one set of courses from one major, you're taking two. So you're either going to have to go to school year round and take summer school, you're going to have to take some extra classes, do some extra classes online, or potentially stay an extra year in order to complete those extra set of classes that you have to do, right? The other option is, if you are interested in studying a second major, but you don't want a full double set, I should say, if that makes any sense, you know what I'm trying to say, then you can major and minor in something. A minor is the same exact thing as a program of study, except that it's like a miniature version of it, pretty much. It's a condensed version. So instead of having to take 2 full sets of classes, you would have to take 1 full set for your major and then a miniature little set for your minor. So I'm totally making this up. If you have to take 20 classes for your major, you might only have to take 10 classes for your minor or less, and you can graduate with a major of study and a minor added tacked on, okay? Really, what's the benefit of double majoring or majoring in minor? It's really depends on what you want to do. If you're going into something that you know you want to like have both skill sets, then that's something to consider. And just know that if you do double major, you major in minor, and that will be listed on your diploma. So it'll say Astrid double majored in biology and women's studies, or she majored in biology, minored in women's studies, whatever the case is. A good example is, let's say you want to go into a field where you will get paid more if you speak Spanish, for example. Then it's an awesome idea to consider maybe like majoring in nursing, you get your BSN, and then you minor in Spanish. So by the time you graduate and start applying for jobs, not only do they see that you have a nursing degree, but they also see that you have Spanish tacked onto that as well. And you can provide that skill and extra knowledge to that job, for example. Again, thank me later, y'all. This is all free, and this is the whole point of this channel, is to try to give you tips, tricks, suggestions, advice, as much information as I can to help you guys just pretty much be the best you can be in your educational journey and beyond, y'all. Sometimes you won't know what you like and what you want to major in until you try it out, until you take a class in those different topics and see what you like, what you don't like, what you're interested in, what you're not trying to study anymore, etc., etc. Just remember that if you do go for a traditional like 4 to 5 year bachelor's degree, right? The first 2 years are really made for you to explore what it is that you want to major in. You will see that you'll have built-in electives into your program, and so you should be using those elective classes to take courses in different majors that you are potentially interested in studying, so that you can already preview and see what it is that you like. Don't waste your electives. Don't wait to register last minute and now you're stuck in music from the 1300s, unless that is something that you're interested in doing. So make sure that, again, use those electives strategically to take classes in different topics that you're interested in, to again narrow down what it is that you do and don't want to study, right? If you're interested in how I chose my major and interested in my own journey, because I was completely lost when I started school and had no idea what I wanted to do, I'm going to go ahead and link another video for you that you can watch, and hopefully that will also give you some insight and potential good advice for you. So other than that, I think that kind of wraps it up for today. Let me know if this helped. If you have any questions at all, drop them below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful videos for y'all. And remember, take care of yourself, take care of other people, and you got this. No matter what it is that you want to do, if you have the time, the energy, the dedication, motivation to do it, I promise you, you will get there 100%. I'm with you all the way. Until next time, this is College to the People. My name is Astrid, and have a great day.